Hey, what's up everybody? In this lesson, we are going to learn how to build a animated and automated infographic using Adobe After Effects. So this is a little bit about what we're going to create right here. Hey, what's up everybody? In this lesson, we're going to learn how to build this automated infographic using Adobe After Effects. This way you can animate all of your data with ease and the scale of a button. So let's go ahead and get started to see how I built this. And to start, I'm going to go ahead and create a new composition. So composition, new comp. And we're going to just make this a social media square, 30 frames a second. We don't need it to be any larger than 5 seconds. Once we have our composition, I'm going to go ahead and add a new solid. So layer new solid or Command or Control Y. And we're going to add the favorite color of your choice. I chose blue. You can choose what you wish. And I'm going to go ahead and add a vignette to that. So CC vignette, drag and drop. That's just going to give us a little bit of light and angle for this, which we can adjust to our heart's desire. Click on that layer, hit enter, hit BG. Remember to name your layers, always important. And we're going to lock down that layer so we don't mess with it again. Now, to do this effect appropriately, we're going to need 3 distinct layers. We're going to need a text layer with a number. So first, I'm going to just type randomly a percentage sign, and that is obviously too small. So let's scale that up, and we'll worry about alignment in a few minutes, and we can change the font and whatnot later. But we're going to start with the percentage text layer, which is going to be our counter. And then we're going to go and add a shape. So I'm going to go to my tools at the top here, the Q tool, and I have the ellipse. And when I click on the ellipse, I'm going to go ahead and draw that out. But I want to make sure I'm not selecting my layer. So I'm going to draw that out. And I already have mine set to a stroke, but yours may look a little different. If you have a fill, you want to make sure the fill is turned off. So click on the word fill, not the box fill, and make sure that you've selected the off button. Same with stroke, you're going to want to go into stroke, and I'm going to just change the color. By default, if you do not have the stroke selected, if you click on the word stroke, you want to choose this second option right here. You can then adjust the size of the stroke to any kind of width that you wish. I'm going to go ahead and just scale this up to around 74-75%, perfectly fine. And we have one more thing to add, so we're going to go to layer, new null. You can think of this null as our controller. So if I hit enter, I'm going to call this controller. That's going to make things a lot easier. So this is the basic setup to create an animated graph. We have our counter, which is going to be the numbers eventually, which we probably want to scale down just a little bit so they fit into the center here. We have our shape layer, which is going to be our circle, so we can rename that circle shape. And then we have our controller, which is going to control it all. Now, in the controller, you're going to need to add a slider effect. So go ahead to your effects and expression controls and type the word slider and drag that onto the controller so you have that ready to go at the top. This slider, when we drag it, is going to control both the number and the actual data that's in the scene. The next step is we're going to kind of skip to the bottom, and I'm going to turn off these real quick just so we can just see the number. And let's zoom in a little bit. We want to control this number and the slider as well. So we want to kind of link these two together. So it's very easy to do. And to do this, I'm going to go ahead and Alt or hold Option on my keyboard. And I'm going to click on the stopwatch under text for source text. When I do that, it's going to look a little scary, but do not worry. I'm going to then highlight the word controller, and I'm going to use this pick whip and drag that to slider. So essentially, I'm going to create this expression that links this slider to that controller. So when I drag it, it looks pretty good, right? Well, here's the issue. If I go ahead and keyframe that slider over my 5 seconds of time or so, and let's say we want this to go to 100%, things look great. But when I hit go, it gives me all of these decimal points. So I need to add a little more code to let this work. And I know code is a scary thing, but I'm going to give you the exact code. I'll put it in the description below for you to kind of build this. So my code is going to be, I want to hit dot period, or just period value. So we want to set the value, hit enter, period fixed to a fixed number, and the fixed number is 0 decimal points. Great. Then I want to add, so plus, so that's shift and then the plus key for me, quotation, parenthesis, and click away. And now I have an awesome automated slider in which we're going to use a little later. How cool is that? So again, I will include this in the description below for you to make it a lot easier. But once you kind of think of coding and the more you do it, it will make more sense to kind of add these. If you wanted to add something in the beginning, you could just simply, like a $sign or something, you could add that code to the top of the front of the element, and that would add it on top of it. So just keep that in mind. And again, there's tons of expressions online that can help you with that. The next step is to deal with my circle shape. So if I open my circle shape, and let's go ahead and hide our text layer for now and turn on our circle shape, we want to control the stroke. So I'm going to go to the add key here and hit add, and we're going to go to trim pass. When we do trim pass, we're going to open up that little drawer and we're going to turn our end path to 0. Now this end path, I'm going to hold Option or Alt, and I'm going to click the stopwatch of end, and then a very similar motion that I did before with the text, I'm going to grab that pick whip and link it to the slider. So now these two things have linked together. And if I turn on my number here and I click away, and I have no other code to add here, it's going to control this to be perfect. Now, I need to do some aligning, but how cool is that? These are now set up perfectly. So why is this good? Because if I go and look at this keyframe here, and let's say I wanted it only to be 75%, and I change that, this is only going to be 75% of the circle. Really, really cool. And I can go in and add a little flair by adding some easing just to get it a little bit, again, smoother with the animation. I can grab my circle and I can grab my text and I can use my align tools and I can put them together. I can also parent my text to the circle shape. This will help because I can move the whole element around. And once I do that, I could even align this to my composition just to get it in the center. And in a matter of minutes, y'all, we have a really lovely automated scene. Now, what happens if we want to add more flair to this? Well, let's go ahead and to our After Effects, right? Let's go and add a drop shadow. And I'm going to put my drop shadow onto that circle shape. And I'm going to just play with the distance, not too much, but I really want to play with the softness here just to give it some dimensionality. And just darken it slightly just so it pops off the screen. So that's looking really, really good. I'm going to duplicate my circle, hitting Command or Control D. And I'm going to rename this Thin Circle. That's going to be very important. I'm going to open up the thin circle and let's change the color to maybe something like a greenish yellow. And we will go to our transform and we're going to just scale this upward. Let's put it in the middle so you can see it a little bit. That stroke size is way too big, so I'm going to just kind of, we'll have some fun with this one. We'll overlap them a little bit. I'm going to overlap that. I'm going to go into the stroke contents and then open up the ellipse, the stroke, and I have all of these fun options here. One of which is I can play with the miter limit. I can play with things like the caps. So if I want to do like a rounding cap on that one, just to get kind of a little more, maybe like an Apple Watch kind of sporty feel, I could do that. All sorts of fun stuff. Really, you can go to town. You can change the stroke color again. You can add dashes, which is always a fun one. So you can go ahead and add dashes to that, and all of a sudden, how cool is this, y'all? Really, really neat. And we can lessen that stroke, maybe make them little squares, and within a matter of seconds, we have a really cool stroke effect. We can continue to duplicate these, and you could go till your heart's desire. We could go ahead and open up, again, the contents. We can open up the transform of these. I always do the transform of the ellipse, which is really helpful, and I can scale that out. If you ever want to remove those dashes, really easy, just hit the remove button, and maybe we'll make Let's try to find a fun color that we can kind of pull this into. Maybe like a purplish pink. That seems kind of fun. There we go. Kind of neon-y. All right. Now that we have that, we could even, gosh, guys, we could taper these as we go. So you could have some fun with tapers just to get, again, more dynamic feel. And there you are. With a matter of seconds, you have a really cool animated infographic that at any point, if I wanted to change, I would just simply go to my slider control and rechange that key to 100%. Maybe I only want it 20%. We've just created an awesome infographic. This can now be taken into other comps and scaled down, but there you go. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. You can use this same technique for things like bar graphs or line graphs. Go ahead and experiment yourself and apply it to some sort of data in which you want to visually represent. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I will catch you in the next